Hey all, what's up everybody? Tim here with this week's SCE. I hope you are crushing it and having an absolutely phenomenal day, and thanks so much for watching. Title for today's shoot is, Why Are You Afraid to Fail? Now, we've been talking about fear. Last week we're talking about fear. This week we're going to get into that over the next couple weeks, and today we're going to talk about the fear of failure. And if you want to talk about a game stopper and a showstopper for most people, it is the fear of failure. And we have to really look at that and ask ourselves, why are we afraid to fail? Now think about it. Just about everything you learned to do, you didn't pop out of your mother's womb and know how to do it. You didn't pop out of the womb knowing how to do your job, knowing how to ride a bicycle, knowing how to do whatever it is that you do. You learned. You learned through time and repetition. And most of the time, it's in the time of making the mistakes and gaining the mastery over it that you get better at it. So everything you've learned by failing. You actually are failing forward. But when we get to be adults, we lose our willingness to take risks because we a lot of times base our willingness to take risk off of other people's opinions. What will they think? And what do I have to lose? And how is this going to look when I blow up? And what if it doesn't work out? And we create this mental dialogue inside our minds that is actually destructive. And it's highlighting all the reasons why we can't do something as opposed to why we can do something. And that's where the fear of failure comes from. It comes from a negative mental dialogue. You are rehearsing again and again and again in your mind why things can't work out, why things won't work out, and everything that you have to lose. And even if you've tried before and failed, you have two choices. You can either say that was a learning experience or that means it wasn't meant to be. And then you're going to repeat that mental process. So a lot of times where fear of failure comes in, when we try something and we fail at it, we rehearse that over and over again. I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew I couldn't do it. I knew I wasn't able to make it happen. I knew I wasn't enough. And we repeat that again and again and again until we accept it as being true. We got to turn off that mental dialogue. We have to reframe the way we look at trying, the way we look at risk, and realize that failing is a part of growth. It's only failure if we quit. Everything about you has come about as a result of trying and failing. From the time you're real little, learning to walk, up until whatever it is that you're doing now. You tried and you failed and you made an adjustment. You tried and you failed and you made an adjustment. So really, we are products of failure, and failure is one of our best friends. But we don't try because we're afraid to fail, most of the time because of those other people's opinions. But let me flip the opinion around for you. Imagine you don't try. Are you going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror by not going for what you want? Are you willing to accept things the way that they are? A lot of times we're presented with this dream, this great goal, this great, really cool thing we want to do, and we know it's going to make us better, and we know it's going to make life significantly better, but we're afraid to fail. That means that you're dissatisfied with where you are right now, but you're not dissatisfied enough to go for it. But when you're 80 or 100, how will you feel? Probably you'll look back and wish you had gone for it. As your kids look at you, what message are you giving to them? Are you giving them the message of somebody who can figure it out and make it happen? Or are you giving the message that you're somebody who's going to quit and give up and not go for it and accept mediocrity in life as being second best? I don't think that's you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. And a lot of the greatest things in life take a long time to achieve. They're not instantaneous successes. So that's another false story we tell ourselves, that I got to figure it out now. And if I'm not successful within a year, it's not to be. And if I don't make it happen immediately, it's not going to come to pass. Everything cool that I've ever done has taken a lot of time and a lot of work. And I'm sure it's the same for you as well. So with all those things to consider, why are you afraid to fail? It's as much a part of growth as anything. It's probably more a part of growth than success. We learn more from our failures than we ever do from our successes, because we take a risk, we try it, we fail, we make an adjustment, and you try again. And then you make another adjustment. You keep doing that until you succeed. You never really have failed. You've just found ways that didn't work, and you've adjusted, which speaks to your resilience and your ability to succeed. So you can do it. You have it within you. So why are you afraid to fail? Change the mental dialogue. Take the risk. You'll never regret taking the risk, but you'll always regret not taking it, and more as you get older. So this is Tim with today's SCE, asking you, why are you afraid to fail? Why? Why are you afraid to fail? Is your ego so precious that you can't fail? Are you willing to continue to live and exist where you are now and continue to live life as it is? Are you saying, I'm not going to accept this anymore. I'm going to go for it because what's ahead of me is more important than where I'm at now. And even if I do make a mistake, I'm still going to go for it. That's who I think you are. Why are you afraid to fail? You know what? You're not. because you've been telling yourself the wrong story. And starting today, you're going to tell yourself a different story about failure. You're going to tell yourself the story that says, every time I fail, I get closer and closer to my goal. And that is empowering, and that will enable you to crush it. So why are you afraid to fail? You're not afraid to fail any longer. You're going to go for it, and you're going to do it. This is Tim with this week's SCE. Have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon.